Hello and welcome to the Heat Army podcast. We are dying to start the show, so while we're in the intro like this, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, like and comment away. We want all of your thoughts and views for the start of the show as we get started, and we can't wait to hear from you. Also as well, we'd like to say a massive thank you to our sponsors at Northern Print Solutions, because without their help we wouldn't be able to broadcast the way we do. So let's get ready for the show.
Hello and welcome to Gateshead International Stadium. This is the Heat Army podcast, and we are delighted that you're here to join us this afternoon here, live and exclusive. We do have the team sheet here. It's all ready to go on a wet Tyneside afternoon, and hopefully we'll see Gateshead get back to winning ways and embed themselves a little bit better in the playoff situation. For our visitors, Tamworth, they've had a great season so far, FA Cup runs, and looks like they will keep their place in the National League at the first time of asking, following promotion from the National League North last season. My name is David Callis. I'm joined by Mark Curvers here this afternoon. We're going to bring you full match commentary of Gateshead versus Tamworth, of course. It is live on the Zone later on as well. If you're in a foreign country and would like to watch the game, please do join us on there, and you can watch from the comfort of your hotel room or wherever you may be in the world. Apologies there, unprofessional. I was starting to eat before we came on air. Right, we do have the teams in front of us. I'll go through Tamworth first. It's Jazz Singh, the captain in goal. Benjamin Crompton, Callum Cockrell, Mollett, Kennedy Digi, Hayden Hollis, Monashi Sundry, George Morrison, Tom Tanks, Dan Creaney, Beckry Enru, and Tom McClinchy. On the bench is Matt Curley, Luke Fairlam, Ben Miles, Anjay Raki, Dan Walden, and Jordan Ponticelli, and Kai Williams. This is how Gateshead line up this afternoon. Tiernan Brooks in goal, John Bellahoon, Jamie Bramwell, and Brandon Hort make up the back three. The wing backs is Luke Hannon and Ben Warman, Captain Regan Booty, Jack Rolls, and Liam Humble in goal. Jovan Malcolm and Frank Newbley, the new signing that was announced this morning, has arrived on Tyneside from Yeovil Town. On the bench for Gateshead is Harrison Bond, Robbie Tinkler, Tyrell Newton, Will McGowan, Tyrell Sellers-Fleming, and Charlie Colcott and Ollie Thompson. And Mark, of course, the word on everyone's lips is Newbley this morning, as well as the word takeover. But positive signs that Frank Newbley has come in, starts straight away, and is definitely going to add a bit more strength and a different dynamic up top for Gateshead.
Yeah, there's a physical presence at the top end of the pitch. I mean, you look at, obviously Louis Flower came in on loan. You had obviously Tyrell Sellers-Fleming on the bench. First half of the season there was Owen Senny, so there's always been some sort of physical presence at the top end of the pitch. But this is a very different animal, I think, with Frank Newbley. I think he's someone who's going to be able to hold the ball up a bit better and bring in other players. I think Jovan Malcolm will benefit from his presence. It also gives an ability to get the ball in the box and really cause some physical issues in there as well. So I'm really looking forward. I'm sorry, I'm distracted, but there's something going on.
Yeah, we don't know. There's some of the referees and the teams. Everything seems to be all right. There's been a lot of discussion down on the running track. If we find out what it is, we'll let you know as soon as possible. Talking about Frank Newbley, on Tuesday night we've seen another experienced striker playing against us, John Akindi, and I think we might even said in commentary and on the podcast the next day that Gateshead could benefit from that type of experience and physicality up front, and Gateshead have went out and done that.
Yeah, and it's the style of player that they haven't really in the last few years gone for, if we're honest. Maybe since Josh Coyote, someone like that, who was obviously on loan at the time, but from Rotherham. It's not necessarily someone that you would think would be a Gateshead style signing, but the more you think about it, the more you think, well, hang on, they need a presence at the top end of the pitch. They need someone for the other lads to work off and almost someone to be a little bit static and just hold the ball up and let other people do the work around them. And again, I go on about the physical presence in the area. Gateshead haven't really had that for a while. So I think it makes sense.
As well as the physicality, the wealth of experience,
And the experience,
as well,
yeah.
right throughout the the footballing system. Really, is not systems. I'm trying to think of the word here. The leagues obviously he's played it right at the top, and obviously he'll bring that in abundance to the team. Just having a little look around, of course, Jack Booty back. Regan Booty playing as captain again, and of course, it was much talked about in the January transfer window that he had been approached or wanted to leave the football club, and as such, when that move didn't happen, he didn't feel like he wanted to wear the captain's armband. But I think no one can complain that it is back on him. And although the game on Tuesday night wasn't the greatest team performance, he was still running, trying to pull strings and make things happen.
Look, I think since he's come back on the side, he's been very good. I think he put a couple of really good performances in, and he's earned the right. I mean, sometimes you can't blame a player because I don't know the figures behind it, but I dare say he would have got a significant pay rise to what he's on a
such as life, Mark. If a national newspaper came along and said, "Would you come and work for us for X amount?" You go, "Oh, that's lovely."
Of course you would.
What I was saying,
and football has to be one of the only industries where people get criticised for that. I mean, if Regan Booty was a plumber, yeah, and someone says, "Will you come and work for my company? Here's double your salary," or whatever it may be, you're going to say yes. So I do,
and I know fans can be critical, but I think in the wider picture at this level, a lot of these players are playing to pay their mortgage, pay their cars off. It's not like at the top echelons where people talk about players in the third person, so to speak. These are players that are they're not going to retire after playing at this level. So it's got to be put into context.
But we should say as well that unless something drastic happens, which we shall see, Gateshead are always going to be vulnerable to losing players to clubs that pay better and pay high. I mean, I'm not saying Gateshead are paupers or that the players are on peanuts, but compared to other players in the league, they are.
Yeah. Of course, there is an elephant in the stadium. Not really, but it's been lingering around. Some fans knew, some fans didn't, that the prospective takeover was possibly going to happen or in the offering. It's been reported in the national press and national radio, and I think even on Sky Sports News, that Victor and Ichibi and a consortium are about to complete a takeover here at Gateshead. And I'll say this till the cows come home. The people that were in charge at the football club and still are in charge at the moment must be commended highly for, as I say, the club has been in football in terms at this level for what Gateshead FG has been run on peanuts, and for them to get it in a place where people see it as a viable option to take over as a football club, as a going concern, is absolutely amazing. But Mark, it's very exciting. There will be fans. I've used this word in the past couple of weeks. A lot of trepidation about because of the previous takeover that ended the way it did under a certain Italian businessman. Fans will have that nervous excitement, but if everything does seem to be with what we're hearing, we'll not go into what we're hearing. It could be a very exciting time to be a Gateshead fan. I've put Mark on the spot.
Yeah, it could be. I'm trying to think how to phrase this without. Obviously, it's my job as a journalist to do a lot of digging and to ask a lot of questions of people involved and people behind the scenes and such like. And at the moment, it's all positive. That the proof will be ultimately in the pudding. The one thing I will say, Dave, is if it does happen, then the new ownership, guided by the Gateshead Soul, have to engage with supporters. They have to engage with the local community. Attendances absolutely have to go up. There's no, there can be no sort of let the ones who love Gateshead get on with it. There has to be a
concerted effort to
drive,
get into,
to bring more people through the gates. Yes, part of that will come through people spending money and bringing in, supposed bigger names and supposed better players. But there has to be a Gateshead football club 50, 60, 70, 80 years down the line, not just one that has a 5-10 year push and then people lose interest. And that's not me saying they're going to. I say this about every takeover. It's down to the incoming owners, or in this case, the prospective incoming owners, to prove what they're about. Because this football club was, and any football club is around when owners aren't. It's always down to the fans to keep things going, and they're the ones that live it day in, day out. So, yeah, if and when it happens, then they've got to work hard for this football club, because it means a lot to the community. Yes, the attendances aren't there and such like, but there's a lot of potential in Gateshead. It's a big town, it's a big borough, and I think with the right owners, with the right care, with the right investment, with the right people behind the scenes, with the right infrastructure, the attendances can go up and Gateshead can become a football league club, and who knows from there.
Yeah, and hopefully, the identity can be embedded into Tyneside, instead of just being the little brothers, as it were, in the shadow of giants. They can make their own waves and hopefully, progress in the footballing world. We are moments away from kickoff. We'd like to welcome everyone joining us on DAZN National League TV. Thank you for your company this afternoon. I do have the teams. I'll go through them when the teams do come out. And as I say, it is going to be a good afternoon. It's been wet. It's been blustery. The wind does seem to have calmed down slightly. Not that it was massive gusts or anything, but slight wet surface out there. It is still raining, but we are all set for a good afternoon's football here. And of course, we would like to say a big thank you to any Tamworth fans that may be joining us in, or any Gateshead fans from around the world. Your company is very much appreciated. And of course, on our audio stream on YouTube, we have got a few messages coming in. We've got James Lee Jordan. Afternoon all. Hope the players heard the podcast on the week and prove ourselves today. I'm sure that they've had their own conversations. I think the manager's already alluded to that. Gateshead FC Stats, who is also very, very appreciated for us here on the podcast and the commentary, always gives us some great information. But Frank Nublet will be the 42nd player used in the league if he gets his debut. Let's hope so. Well, he is. He's starting.
I reckon it must be up towards 50 in all competitions now.
Maybe more with the National League Cup. We've got Sean Parrish, but good afternoon. Happy non-league day. Of course, it is non-league day today. How dare we forget, or I forget, should I say. Afternoon, lads. 3 points today, says Craig. Graham Jones, afternoon all, surrounded by Brummy boys down in Worcester. So it'd be nice to beat the Tamworth today. And GSFC Stats has put, get everyone involved in local schools, employ staff to answer phone calls, etc. and update Gateshead ladies. That's a start. Well, I'd imagine there is a lot of things that the potential new owners will have to put in place, and by all accounts, and looking at the people involved, I'm sure they will have a professional approach going forward. So that is very good. And remember, if you are listening on our audio stream on YouTube, please drop us a like and drop us a subscribe. And of course, let us know where you are listening from in the world. But we are live on National League TV, DAZN, as the teams come out onto the pitch here at Gateshead International Stadium. There will be a pause for a picture before kickoff about the 3-up campaign, which is gathering pace. And we're yet to see if the Football League will back this campaign. As Mark alluded to earlier on, it is a bit like turkeys waiting for Christmas. Are they going to vote for a potential extra relegation spot from League Two? Yet to be seen, but I think it's only fair in this day and age that there is more progression from the National League. But this is how Tamworth line up this afternoon. Jazz Singh, the captain in goal. Benjamin Crompton, not to be mixed up with the actor from Game of Thrones. Callum Cockrell-Mullet, Kennedy Diggy, Hayden Hollis, Moneshi Sundry, George Morrison, Tom Tonks, Dan Kearney, Beck Ray Enaru, and Tom McKinley. Then on the bench for the visitors, Tom Curley, Frank Fairlam, I don't know where I got Frank Fairlam from, Luke Fairlam, Ben Milnes, Andre Raki, Danny Walton, Jordan Ponticelli, and Kai Williams. Right, we'll get Retief in for the Gateshead ones. It is Tiernan Brooks in goal, John Bellahoon, Jamie Brownwell, and Brandon Horton will be playing the back three. The wing backs, Luke Hannant and Ben Warman. The captain, Regan Booty, Jack Rolls, Liam Humble in midfield, and up top, Jovan Malcolm with new signing Frank Nublet, who makes his debut this afternoon, having signed yesterday afternoon and announced this morning. Harrison Bond on the bench with Robbie Tinker, Tyrell Newton, Will McGowan, Tyrell Sellers-Fleming, Charlie Colquitt and Ollie Thompson. And we're seeing players start to return from injury, Mark, and the bench slowly starting to become a little bit stronger.
Yeah, and we've seen before the game Joe Grayson, Kenton Richardson, Greg Ollie going through a bit of a warm-up as well. Now, I think Greg's a while away yet, but the other two I think you might see in the next 2 to 3 weeks, which would be a massive boost. You got to think Gateshead probably for about 85 minutes on the first day of the season played their first choice defence, but apart from that,
it's been slim pickings in between, and of course injuries to goalkeepers. The back five, as it were, has been quite but it hasn't been stable, for want of a word of team selection. There hasn't been any consistency. 47 players used in all competitions for Gateshead, including the National League Cup. So the fourth official is there, so we don't know what the conversations were before the game. But Oslo calling Heed Army says, Arvid, thank you very much for your company. We're moments away from kickoff here. The referee is just signalling to the goalkeepers, and we are about to be underway as Gateshead now. Regan Booty pings the ball out to the right-hand side. Hannant couldn't get to the ball as the ball nodded through, and Jamie Bramwell can play it back to Tiernan Brooks, who straight away plays up to Humbles, who turns his man, holds the ball up well and carries it forward. He does need support. It comes forward for Javon Malcolm, and the ball goes out and play for a goal.
Great atmosphere.
It is, yeah. It's a non-league day. Hopefully we're pushing towards the four-figure mark. Does look towards that. There's still people coming in to the stand here. And Patrick Story has put, listen in on my birthday, 3 points would be a smashing present. Happy birthday, Patrick. The Singh takes a big goal kick there, brought down by Tamworth as they play the ball forward from Diggy. Brought down on the far side by Enaro, turns, plays it into the centre, nodded clear, where it has to be picked up by Owen, shot from the edge of the area. Actually more, probably 40 yards out, and the ball goes out to play on the far side. Or a throw it to Tamworth.
No, it's coming.
Long throw coming from Tom Tonks. It's quite the weapon in their arsenal. As everyone goes towards the 6-yard area for audio listeners, it's going to be launched in. In it comes, and what a throw that is, but headed clear by Gateshead. The loose ball will be picked up by Tamworth and put back up towards the edge of the box.
It's a foul.
Pushing it back on Newbley. Of course, started his career at West Ham and has had a great career in the Football League. Notably Plymouth and Colchester. Two of his destinations. Gets over the free kick. Tiernan Brooks takes the kick. It's going to go up towards Javon Malcolm, beaten in the air. Rolls, wins the header, but it's going to fall to Booty in midfield, who puts the ball over the top looking for Newbley. Hooked clear and out of play for a throw on the far side.
Kids, unfortunately, don't have a Thomas Tonks.
No, they don't. Dan Jones does have a good throw on him, but not in the side today as Regan Booty. Crossfield ball looking for Warman. Warman brings it down well, cuts inside. Still marked, lays it off as Rolls tries to play it in first time and comes out for a throw on the near side. Halfway inside the Tamworth half.
Yeah, a little change to the end with Mormon playing left wing back instead of in the middle. You got Brandon Horton dropped into that back three at the expense of Dan Jones, who's got a little injury.
Well, we know Warman can play that left wing back position. He did so at Wembley, and he's done it on a number of occasions.
Very well as well.
He did. Tiernan Brooks looks for the run of Hannant. It's been headed clear, but Gateshead tried to pick up the ball in midfield and do so from Tonks' header, who couldn't direct it to a teammate as Booty gets it to Newbley, out to Hannant. Now Benayoun gets his first touch of the game. Benayoun just having to play it back to Tiernan Brooks, nothing silly. Brooks looks for the run of Malcolm, headed clear though by Diggy, and the ball being sent away, and it's a good ball, and it is going to be number 19, who isn't on the team sheet, and is shot away. I do believe, I think I know what the discussions were about the clash of
Kids.
strips. Yeah, because I think they're wearing their home strip with the away shorts and socks, or gold shorts and socks for our audio listeners with a red and white top. So I think that might have been what they might have been waiting to get the strips out of the bus. It's a ball nodded forward. Rose nods it on. Malcolm had nodded it forward for the run of Nublet, but it's been gathered up by the visitors, and lovely stuff from Liam Humbles, but couldn't direct it towards a teammate, and Tonks just slows it down and plays it over to the far side. So at the moment, we're having a real trouble with some of the names, but Morrison, crossfield ball, there's one or two shirt numbers don't match the actual names, so hopefully we're getting the right names and numbers. But ball played across towards Warman, quickly closed down, but the ball forward can be poked over by Horton. Didn't find a teammate, but Balayoun stands his ground very well and gets the ball back to Brooks, who in turn has fired it long. Malcolm tries to chase down the ball. It's been an unfortunate one there. Backed into the player as he headed it, judged to have fouled the defender in Digi. Ball played forward, looking for the run of number 19 on this far side. Don't know who it is because it's not on the team sheet. Ball played and out of play for a goal kick. Well, Digi just holding his midriff there?
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Seems to be moving all right as Brooks goes long with the ball up towards Newell. Ball falls to Tonks in midfield, who threads it through straight away, but Horton's there to clear up. But in midfield, it's won back by Humbles. Booty plays it across to Horton, former Chesterfield man, as Brooks pings it up towards the Gateshead front line, and Balayoun chasing down to get to the ball. The 22, Anaru does very well to control it, plays it in the centre, plays it off the back of Rules. A little bit sloppy there, and Anaru judged to have been fouled after he released the ball. I think just caught his ankle, Jack Rules.
Scrappy start from both sides, really scrappy start.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, it's going to be Tonks to take a free kick in the centre circle inside the gates at half. 7 minutes gone, 0-0 here. He's going to put this one out towards the right-hand side and nodded inside. Can Gateshead get the ball under control? They can. This Rules clears it up the pitch. And Malcolm was there, but Gateshead can pick up the loose ball in midfield. Humbles under pressure, does manage to send Hannant away, gets into the box, and a great tackle there from Anaru. And a very, very important tackle there.
Just trying to watch him there and see if when he went down, it looked awkward, that, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought
he's all right.
His ankle, but he's up. Gets a build on the right-hand side, plays it back to Bramwell. Booty gives it back to Horton. Horton, the furthest player back, bar the goalkeeper. Rules, turns his man, holds it up. There's good defensive play, but falls to Balayoun. Balayoun can drive forward with the ball. He's still going. He's got Hannant on the right-hand side, puts the cross in himself. It's cleared, and Gateshead need to pick up the second ball. And just a slight mistake there. I don't know if he misjudged the bounce there, number 19 for Tamworth, but it went behind him. Looked like he had it under control. And Gateshead in possession through Booty in the centre circle inside the Tamworth half. Newbley tries to flick a ball on there, but a lot of pace on it.
Too much pace on it, I think. From Booty really fired that in, but just a bit too much on it for Newble to control. It's a very deep here.
Certainly ours. Crompton can bring the ball forward, and he pings the ball over towards the left-hand side. Brought down really well by Hannant there. Ball forward up towards Newbley and Malcolm. Headed clear though. Digby, he's in the walls. He's took one in the nose there. I think he's headed the back of a player. I think there might be Is he all right? Well, Gates, it's underway. It was still playing the ball through to Malcolm. Can he finish it? Keeper come out, and Digby is in. I think he has got a nosebleed here. When he went up to win the header in the earlier passage of play, Singh is injured as well at the moment. He's holding his thigh, but I think Digi just headed into the back of Malcolm's head and instantly grabbed the bridge of his nose. So we'll see. But Singh is stretching out there. I don't know if he landed awkwardly, but it was a good save from Singh. Got out off his line quickly.
Yeah, really dangerous break, wasn't it, from Gateshead?
Yeah. Singh needs to see the physio as well. He's don't know if they do have a sub goalkeeper on the bench, but Singh, he's up. But I think Digi is does have a bloody nose at the moment. And we've already seen in the earlier passages of play, he's a big, strong lad. He wouldn't go down for no reason. And I think that one might be stinging slightly. Ginger Joe from West Peterborough is calling in. Thank you very much. Andrew Flynn has put, let's get 3 points this afternoon and create a positive energy for the remaining games of the season. Come on, the Heat. And if you're just joining us, where have you been? We're at the 11th minute. We've got a stoppage in play. It's 0-0 here at the moment. Nobody carved out any opportunities yet. And if you're just joining us on DAZN as well, thank you very much for your company. But I think this might be, they're trying to stop the blood by the looks of it. Seems all right. It's going to come off now. But and Singh seems to be all right now. Stretched it out, whatever it was. Well, Malcolm, I don't know who's giving the referee a talking to. Malcolm a talking to there for the, but it wasn't pulled back for a foul, was it? So, Singh, drop ball. He picks it up.
I think there's a sub coming on here. No, it's not. One of the subs footing. I think he was getting ready.
Yeah.
Well, he was taking his bib off, didn't he? But
well, Singh being told to take the kick. Temporarily down to 10 men, the visitors, as Warman's header goes out for a throw on this right-hand side. And we know Mr. Tonks is going to tonk it in. It's going to be a good throw in as Digi is waiting to come on. Referee's told him to come on. The referee's telling him to go back.
he's basically just going to run to where he's come from there.
Well, who will we argue with the referee as Tonks launches another fine ball in towards the 6-yard area. It bounces and comes off a Gator player and out for a corner. And that was thrown in with perfection. That right in the way you want to put it in the mixer.
Well, it's obviously a little bit like in the easy comparisons, Rory Delap, isn't it? And
yeah,
the angle that it comes in on is very different to the one that is a corner.
It's got a lovely dip, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But Tonks is going to take the corner on this right-hand side.
Someone's getting a telling off here.
Well, it's Digi and Balayoun that are getting a bit of a talking to here to stop the. There's a player. Well, there's antics going on there. A lot of pushing and shoving. In comes the delivery from Tonks towards the back post, and the referee has seen enough and give a free kick to Gateshead for the pushing in the box. Well, I wouldn't say this game's got niggle, but there's antics going on from both sets of players there in the defensive quarters. There's Brooks up towards Nublé, who wins the header, flicks it on for Malcolm to chase onto, but Digi manages to get it back to Singh, and Singh's clearance is going to go up to Enaru. Balayoun does well, and Humboldt didn't keep it in to throw in just on the halfway line. Quickly taken. Headed clear though by Gateshead. Getting my words all mixed up. Hannah keeps it in.
Good ball.
Now played across, and Warman has space and time to carry this ball forward over the halfway line, left-hand side of the pitch. Still going, plays it inside. Oh, lovely touch from Rolls, edge of the area. He's twisting and turning. Can he lay it off? Tries to thread it through, but the loose ball is going to come back to Gateshead as Booty gets it to Humbles. Humbles lays it off to Bellayoun halfway inside the Gateshead half. Tamworth half. Rolls plays it off the referee. Referee's going to drop ball to Gateshead.
It's a real shame that because Ben Warman was in left-hand side there. It's a great block of his defender.
It was. And we've got someone in from Poland listening in as Malcolm puts it out to Warman. Warman sees Malcolm trying to do the overlap, but he decides to put it in himself. Booty plays the ball back as Tonks collides into Benayoun there. Ball played forward, just too much on it from Bramwell, who seems to have slotted in quite well in the centre of defence there. Of course, hasn't had many starts this season, had a couple of loans.
Yeah, it was kind of in and out at South Shields in the National League North, and obviously injuries have forced him back here, and he's now... Sorry, I'm just watching conversations going on pitch side. There's a lot going on.
There is. Yeah, one of the Gateshead coaches talking to the fourth official. This ball flicked on. Warman, defensive duties, gets the ball under control, looks to bring it forward. Javon Malcolm just tried to use his footwork to get clear, but the defending number 19, who we're still trying to decipher who that is. I think it might be Carini, is it? No, Carini's in the middle. Maybe Tom McKinley. I can't see number 29 out there. But yeah, so Gateshead looking to build. Horton gives the ball back to Bramwell. Bramwell, ball forward. Booty tries to bring the ball down as Tonks goes down after catching Humbles, or Humbles catching him rather. Free kick about 45 yards out, really bang centre of the pitch. 0-0.
Do you think it's just a typing error and it's actually 19? Oh, it is McGlinchey.
Yeah, it must be. Must be a typing error.
So maybe they have got the right.
Yeah, they have got the right.
On.
Yeah,
it's just a typing error. Yeah.
Typing error. A lot of men committed forward here.
Oh, it was done with a flourish, wasn't it? The spray of the magic spray there. The referee.
Comes out wide. McKinley was in here because of space. It's a deep cross. Can it be nodded back across? Great header from Newbold to help get it out, and good block from Regan Booty. The ball's put back in, and Benayoun covered the run, and the ball goes back to Tiernan Brooks. The ball being quick forward for. That was good defending, but Malcolm does manage to keep it in the far side and bring his teammates into play. Hannant gives it to Humbles. Humbles back to Hannant. Bellayoun. Booty. Ball just goes flying through past Humbles. Crompton can clear that ball up the pitch, and Enaru tries to get onto it. He holds it up. There's players getting into the box, but
someone wasn't marking back post there.
In comes the cross now. It's deep towards McKinley. Kearney tries to get it falls to McKinley now. McKinley puts it inside. Shot off from Kearney.
Oh, what a header.
Good defensive header from Bramwell to take the ball away from one of the incoming Tamworth players. My bag fell down the stairs there, but Gateshead in the middle. Now Jack Rolls.
Good ball.
Out to Hannon. Warman can bring the ball forward. He does have the two target men in the centre, but he needs more support from midfielders. Rolls comes on the overlap. Malcolm holds it up. It's Newell. Booty. Oh, his touch just bounces away, but Bramwell's there to get it under control. Back to Bramwell from Bellayoun.
Pitch is killing Gateshead a bit here, you know.
Yeah, there's been one or two little bobbly passes, hasn't there? As Brooks looks for the run of Malcolm. Can get to pick up the second ball. Nodded on. Tonks not heads it forward. Enaru, can it get past Ben Ayoun? And Humbles picks it up and gives it to Hannant. Hannant looking to get the ball moving forward. Malcolm holds it
That's
up
good.
well. And Warman on this far side. Just couldn't go through. As Malcolm tries to cover the run, but Tonks can turn in midfield, play it through. Ball's not the greatest, and Gateshead defence can just mop that one up. Out to Horton. Warman,
my God.
It hits off the inside of Warman's boot and goes out of play. I'm wondering, will we seen the discussions beforehand, the game, if Gateshead might have even played in their away strip if it was available, if there was problems going on with the kit clash, that could have possibly happened. But Crompton is going to take this throw. It's not as long as Tonks, as the ball comes off a Tamworth player and goes out. I'm sure in the dressing room, none of them are as long as Tonks.
Well, it's a kid show.
I was on about the throw. As Horton is about to launch this one. The interesting aerial battle at the moment as Booty wins the ball, goes out to the far side. Enaru and Belayun are having a great tussle. Big man, little man battle going on over on that far side, but Hannon can calm it down and gives it back to Bramwell. Booty back to Bramwell. Lovely crossfield ball if that can get through to Hannon.
It was unlucky. Idea was right.
Intercepts and heads it out, and it's a throw to Gateshead. Jack Rose wants to take it quickly, gives the ball to Horton. Booty, just a couple of times the pitch has just cut up a little bit and the ball hasn't went the way they wanted it, but at the moment, the visitors bringing the ball forward.
I think it's absolutely killing Gateshead attack-wise.
Yeah. As it's out with Enaru on the far side, up against Ben Ayoun. Manages to loft it into the middle, bounces away from Tonks. McKinchley can hold it up, lays it off, and Sundry goes for his shot, then dips into the ground and then into the chest of the oncoming Brooks. Well, Emily's asking what's happened to the kit. Well, nothing's happened to Gateshead, but there was a lot of talking and discussion 20 minutes before kickoff that we noticed with the referee and both benches, and we're surmising that it was the away kit that might have had a slight kit clash, and it looks like they're wearing a home shirt with their away shorts, so that's the only thing. Is under Horton, just a little slip there, and at the moment McKinchley's been brought back, and tell you what, if I was Tamworth, I'd be a bit angry about that. They were on the
Me too, because it was a good break, wasn't it? He's done well to cut inside the two players, and he's got lots of space in front of him, but the referee pulled it back, just maybe a little bit too quick there.
He had options as well. There was players left and right of him, but this is an opportunity for Tonks to put the ball up on the edge of the box where the players are, and we've seen Gateshead concede from a more or less an identical place last Saturday.
Oh, no, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it's where the visitors last week managed to put the ball in, Maidenhead. There's a header at the back post, looping over the goalkeeper. As Tonks puts it right on the edge of the box, headed clear by Gateshead. Rose with a little flick there, and Tonks was wiped out. Jack Rolls, and it's going to be a yellow card for Tonks. He's got his hands in his head, but he completely took Rolls out there. Thought he might have let that play on and then pulled it back, but a yellow card for Tonks.
Tamworth bench far from happy with that yellow card, by the way. I think I've got a little bit of sympathy because it is the first one.
I think it was a foul, but yeah, as you say, I think maybe not a yellow. Tiernan Brooks is going to take this free kick after Booty was standing over it, and enables Gates to get more men forward out towards that right-hand side of the pitch. Still 0-0. 24 minutes gone. Ball up in the air around the area. It's headed clear. Enaru and Belayun renewing that tussle, and a free kick has been given against.
It's one of the scrappiest, scrappiest opening 25 minutes I've seen here in a long time.
So it's a really interesting battle between Enaru and Belayun because I don't think that was a foul. I thought that was more Enaru backing into him, but the referee's always going to side with the player that's backing in.
Well, I mean, Belayun's doing everything right so far, and he's staying strong, and that's what Gateshead are going to have to do.
Gateshead holding a bit of a higher defensive line here from this free kick from Tamworth goalkeeper. Kearney managed to get the ball out to Enaru. Enaru's lovely touch. He's still going. Enaru couldn't get the ball away, and it's going to be a goal kick. But he's a real live wire for the visitors. He looks the most creative at the moment down that left-hand side. But 25 minutes gone, 0-0 here, and still waiting for the game to come alive.
Very much so. Very much so. It's been very, very bitty at the moment, isn't it? And just not quite happening for either side.
Gets a player from the back as Booty gives the ball to Bramwell. Bramwell under pressure, gets it past there really well. That was calm and composed. So any way you could describe it, but Horton brings the ball forward. He wants someone to drop off, and Malcolm was the man to do it. Now Humbles in midfield. The ball just runs away from him. He manages to get it back though, and gets it over to Hannant. Hannant cuts inside with the ball. Lays it off to Rose. Rose with a lovely touch. They've backed. Nearly come back from.
The ball back's got to be better to him.
From Malcolm, but Tonks can play this ball back, and it's going to be cleared down that left-hand side for the visitors, but unfortunately goes out of play. And that
sort of move we've just seen there from Gateshead was very much what we expect from Gateshead side, and it worked perfectly until the very end. But it's promising signs. But we said that on Tuesday at times.
We did. Belayun, but this does look more of a spirited team performance at the moment. As good defending from Digi there. He's right in the thick of it, isn't he?
I think he might have took another injury as well.
Yeah, I think his boot just come off there. He's putting it on, yeah. As Enaru and Belayun, and Enaru told to get up by the referee. The ball has went out for a throw to the visitors. Yeah, it's an interesting tussle, and I think Belayun's going to have to be fully switched on because one little sidestep and he can be away.
Yeah, he's got plenty of energy and plenty of pace and a very, very tricky player. So it's going to be a tough afternoon for John Belayun. But so far he's doing all right.
Another signature throw from Tamworth. Loading the box with players just on the edge of the 6-yard box. In comes the delivery. It's a great one, but Belayun straight out and heads it clear. And now...
What?
Wow, well, looked like Malcolm had been fouled in the build in that on there, and it went the other way. Another opportunity for the visitors to get the ball into the box.
It's literally been held.
Well, the referee could see the other side if Malcolm might have had a hold of a shirt himself, so we'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt there. There we go, as Singh puts this ball out to the right-hand side. McGinty's in acres of space, unmarked. In comes the delivery. Jane Brooks can pluck that out. Need to have more zip on it, that one, but the ball has been sent for Javon Malcolm to get onto. Crompton got a hold of Malcolm, and the referee doesn't give anything. And, Booty wins the ball. Gateshead in possession as Humbles couldn't get to it, and it's been cleared by Tamworth. And the home crowd are not exactly awed by the referee as Enaru manages to get the ball out to Tierney. Good defending from Horton, but Gateshead nearly found themselves on the end of a good break there from the visitors. But they've managed to get themselves back into shape, and it's a throw to the visitors on the far side.
Not really sure what Javon Malcolm's got to do to get a foul today.
Well,
he's being held back by two there. But Tamworth just look a little bit more decisive on the ball, I've got to be honest. I think they're the better side at the moment.
It does look like we're going to see another one of Tonks' throws from the far side. This one level with the side of the box on the left-hand side.
It's a crowded 6-yard box as well.
It is. It could go anywhere. And in it comes yet another beautiful delivery. Headed on by Tamworth. Still in the box. Hasn't been cleared. Shot away. Great save by Brooks. And now nodded away. And ball hasn't been cleared yet by Gateshead. As Tamworth with a little flick on the side. Offside flag does go up. The follow-up shot wouldn't have mattered, but Tina Brooks saved it. But yeah, this game, it's on a knife edge, isn't it? At times for in and around the box when them throws come in, you just don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, and when a throwing goes in like that, anything can happen, and that's what you're seeing there. Is just it causes that lack of decisiveness from anyone in the area, and you just don't know what's going to happen. So it just makes it a bit of a lottery at times, and that's what you saw there. It was bouncing around. Tamworth used it very well in their favour.
Tina Brooks with the free kick, pumping it up. There's a lot of shirt pulling onto Newbury. The referee gives nothing, and the tussle between Digley carried on a little bit there, but Gateshead do pick up the loose ball and start to, as Jack rolls, gives it to Horton. Horton gives it down the line. Nice back header from Newbury. Malcolm doesn't give anything. The referee was a push on Malcolm out to the right-hand side. Hannant has it. He's got Ben Ayoun on the overlap. He didn't quite see him there, but the ball goes down. Good tackle. And now Tamworth are on the attack on the left-hand side, bringing the ball forward. It's Eneru on the ball. There is McKinstry on this far side. He has been found edge of the box. Can he pull the trigger? Cuts inside. Great recovering tackle from Horton, but still with Tamworth, left-hand side. In comes the delivery from 30 yards out. Kearney tries to get the ball off, and he's given a free kick to Gateshead for the push on the shoulders.
Ironic cheers.
And I wouldn't equate it to the refereeing performance that we've seen on Tuesday night, Mark, but interesting decisions.
Yeah,
I know that
the players aren't making it easy for them because there's a lot being contested here.
Crossfield ball goes straight out of play on the far side. A throw to the visitors. Vanessa has sent us a message. Afternoon all, hoping for improvements today. Well, on the first 30 minutes, it does seem to be a much improved team performance from Gateshead thus far.
They are standing up. Excuse me. They are standing up as well at the physical challenge pretty well so far, but they're going to have to maintain that for 90 minutes.
Well, throw taken on the left-hand side. Gateshead are going to be able to pick up the loose ball and play it forward. And Newbury turns, holds it up well. Off to Hannon on the far side. Former teammate of Colchester, of course. As Booty gets Rules, who has space to bring the ball forward inside the Tamworth half. Rules gets the balls back and sends Warman away left-hand side of the box. Can he pull it back? He does. Oh, he put it too close towards the defenders, and it's out for a corner. But that's an improvement from Gateshead.
It's a great little run.
Oh, he's given a goal kick now. Well,
he's taken it based on what the
assistant on the wrong side of play. Yeah.
Interesting. Much better from Gateshead. Great little ball from Jack Rolls, and Ben Warman, good run inside the fullback. Promising.
Well, 32 minutes, about to go into 33rd. 0-0, still here at Gateshead National Stadium. National League action. Live on National League TV on DAZN and on the audio stream on the Heed Army podcast. And at the moment, Gateshead playing the ball forward, looking for Newbury, but Malcolm rises out the air and Rolls headers it forward, but it can be brought down though by Gateshead. Rolls under pressure. Gateshead scrappy in midfield, and neither side really getting the ball under control. And Malcolm and the referee saying no push in the back for the third time in the row on Javon Malcolm, and infuriating the time and wheel stand. But the ball goes up towards Digby, wins the header. It's up in the air again. Malcolm goes for the header with Crompton. Crompton wins it for a ball over the top. Newbury, he's onside. Couldn't get through onto the ball. I think the flag might have went up there
as well
if he had got a touch.
Yeah, he's just said that it would.
Yeah. Looked about 3 or 4 yards off, didn't he, just as he started his run?
Definitely.
Well, seeing great kick down the middle there. McKinstry's going to get onto it though in the box. Can he pull it back across? Gets the defenders sticking to him like glue. Warman forcing him to play the ball back to Crompton. Crompton under pressure from Rules, and nice ball to pick out the man in the centre. Out to the far side, and Eneru now against Ben Ayoun. What's he got against Gateshead's big number 14? Takes down the dead ball line, and Ben Ayoun puts the ball out for a corner.
It's a lovely little contest, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Right from the get-go, we've seen that one starting. Tonks goes over to the far side to take this one. Wow.
There's a short one on.
There's pushing and shoving happening in the box already. Tierney, not Tierney, call him Tierney, Creaney. Yeah. Fractious in there as the ball comes in. It's not a great delivery, but the loose ball can be picked up by Tamworth. Crompton looks to put it back in towards the box across this far side to McKinstry. Heads it back across. Has to be fisted away by Tiernan Brooks. And now Gator can clear it and push their line of defence out. But it's been brought down by Tamworth, who ping the ball back up, and that's going to go all the way through to Tiernan Brooks.
Very slow getting out Gateshead there. There's a bit of a concern. Sort of inviting pressure on themselves.
Balayoun can bring the forward now. Plays it through the centre, but intercepted by Tamworth. There's Hollis. Ball forward, Eneru on the far side. He's got past his man. Can he pull it back in? And Gateshead just had to get bodies in front. And now Gateshead can break in a dangerous position as Jack Rules brings it over the centre circle. He's got Malcolm to his left, who he uses. Newbley is in the centre, but Malcolm up against Crompton. Takes it forward, goes for the shot into the side net. And, another better sign from Gateshead, getting the ball moving quickly, but good vision from Jack Rolls to get it out to Malcolm on that left-hand side. 33 minutes gone. 36. 0-0. I think I forgot to put the right teeth in today, Mark.
Just worry who they are.
Oh, I think the dog's got a better smile. Singh in peppermint green kicks the ball up, headed on by Rules, but it falls out to McKinstry. Kearney plays it forward. Tonks battling with Horton, but Horton just gets in front and puts it out for a throw on this side.
I'd say more spearmint green, by the way.
Spearmint green. I'll go with your mint green colours. Your expertise. Tonks was probably about his 7th long throw of the game. They're loading the area. The referee is talking to the players. There's tussling going on in there. In comes the delivery. It's a dangerous one. Could be anywhere. Hasn't been cleared yet. It has now. And Gateshead can come forward through Hannon, right-hand side. There is a Warman was in the centre, but Hannon had 2 men in front of him. Benayoun plays it forward to Humbles, and it comes off him.
Across. He's got options over here.
Well, goes out for another throw, and this time Tonks isn't going to launch this one in.
I think he's got repetitive strain injury.
Wow.
It's a hell of a weapon, though, isn't it? You know, to have someone who can throw it that far, and the angle and the pace that he gets on it, it's as good as the very best crosses you see.
That's right. As you say, it's different to a corner or a cross. The dip that he can get on it, the spin at the end.
We've seen it for years because I've seen him play in the NPL and National League North, you know, and stuff like that. So it's always been a weapon for whatever club he's played for.
Well, Benayoun heads it clear. Tonks trying to win the ball, but it falls to Hannon, who can send it away over the top, but Crompton can clear it. It's going to fall to Kearney, who puts it out far side. There's appeals for handball, and the referee, for a second, he's going to put the whistle to his mouth there, so he's going to stop it. But Gateshead bring the ball forward now. Horton looks for
I don't think that's the worst ball, you know.
It skipped out on this left-hand side and out for a throw to the visitors. And, it's a lot of talking to the officials from both sets of players at the moment. Crompton being told to go back about 10 yards.
On loan from Sunderland, by the way.
Sorry?
He's on loan from Sunderland. Ben Crompton.
He is from Sunderland, is he?
He's on loan from Sunderland.
Oh, he's on loan from Sunderland. Well, long kick, but headed clear by Bramwell. Newbley tries to run down, and the ball played out of play on the far side and a throw to Gateshead. Bramwell pings the ball up towards Gateshead's big man. Digi wins the header. Tonks in midfield can try and bring a teammate into play, but Balayoun read it well. Headed forward by Sundry, and Gateshead can get it under control at the back. Horton to Booty. Booty gets it out to Warman, just couldn't get to it. It's an awkward one for Warman, and it's a throw to the visitors just in front of the Gateshead dugout. Crompton launches the ball forward, headed in by Kearney. It goes all the way through to Tiernan Brooks. Hannon brings it forward, crosses the halfway line, the far side, pulls it back into Humbles. Humbles takes a touch. He's got past his man. He's done really well. Drives forward with the ball. He's still going and just overrun it. And there's Malcolm. Oh! Offside flag goes up. And, lovely stuff from Humbles to keep the ball moving under pressure. Tackles coming in. He evaded them. And the ball forward. Just Malcolm had straight off when he poked it in the back of the net. Still 0-0 into the 41st minute.
That must have been tight. I'll say that.
Very hard to tell. Good win from Bramwell with a header. Lifted forward. Nodded down from Malcolm to Rules. Oh, and it's come off we couldn't see for the dugout, but it come off a Tamworth player. Looked like Rules had initially just kicked it out to play.
Lovely play from Liam Humbles, by the way.
It certainly was. As the ball up towards Newbley. Newbley's header is up in the air. Nods it on again. Brought down and cleared by the visitors. Nodded back up as Kearney is offside. Tongsto isn't, but lovely play from Bramwell, who's growing into the game with confidence as Gateshead win it in midfield. Javon Malcolm just couldn't get the ball from underneath his feet, and now Enaru tries to turn Balayoun, but Balayoun was sharp to it and arced his run himself. Cleared by Tiernan Brooks on the far side. Headed forward though. Going to bounce back through to Tiernan Brooks. Now it is Horton brings the ball forward. Rules turns his man. Humbles.
What a touch.
A lovely touch. Sorry, Vin. Now Gateshead can bring the ball forward. It was Hannon who's breaking into the centre. Newbley's waiting to the back post. Javon Malcolm goes to unleash the trigger. And the ball hasn't went out of play on the far side. Tonks can go over and get it. And plays it back. But everyone thought the cross was coming in there from Javon Malcolm.
I think he did the right thing.
Yeah.
He's got his defender backing off. Why wouldn't you go and have a shot?
It was nice to see Hannon getting a little bit further forward as well.
Hasn't really been a feature so far, has it?
Not really. As Rules gives it across to Warman. Takes a touch. Noble's on his toes, but he didn't see it. But the ball in the centre as Horton's found himself further forward.
Good
Humbles
tackle.
wins the ball in midfield, though. That's good tackle. Warman.
Been a real highlight so far, Humbles.
He's certainly got some determination about him at the moment as Newbley drops deep to get involved. Booty. Ball
Good.
through the centre. Can Humbles bring Malcolm into play on the edge? There he has. There's the overlap run from Hannon. Pulls it back across and there's a
He's
corner.
got nothing in the box. Everyone's hung out towards the edge of the box.
Wow.
But it's much better from Gateshead.
Better
end in the
link-up
half.
play in
Much
the
better.
build-up, isn't it? But as we've seen from the visitors, you've got to make these passages of play because, you know, a long throw for them, even from the halfway line, is dangerous. As in comes the cross. There's a header from Malcolm. Oh, just goes inches wide. Now, the keeper was planted. He'll say that he knew it was going wide. But looked pretty close from here. Still 0-0. A minute and a half remaining of normal time here in the first half. Goal kick's taken by Singh. Nodded on by Kearney, who's not going to say cutting a frustrated figure, but he's dropping deeper and deeper to get involved in Tamworth number 9. This ball has been pumped out of play on the far side for a throw to the visitors. Some interesting scores coming around from the National League. We'll get into them at half time. As Tonks is going to probably put his last long throw in of the half. From halfway inside the gated half, up because there was the run of Newblay to intercept that header. Malcolm arcs his body to bring it down. Booty tries to get it forward, just a little bit scrappy, and Gator put it out of play on the far side because...
So you're wrong.
Yep.
It's got one more.
Oh, yeah, sorry, he has got one more. Famous last words. As Tonks looks to launch yet another missile into the box. 3 minutes of time added on. Of course, there was the injury to Digi in the first half. Kearney wins the header and it comes.
Goal kick.
Yep. I think it come off a Gator player onto Kearney's head.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know, I'll give Gateshead credit here because I think they've been brilliant against the long throw and the direct play in the first half. They've done really well.
There's been one or two when it's just dropped through, but both sides haven't capitalised on that either way.
No.
But, you know, as I say, we've said it all the way through the game ever since the first one, but Tonks is such a weapon that they're utilising to great effect. As nodded on by Newblay, and Malcolm's chasing it down, calm header back to Singh.
I do think there's a makings of a very good partnership there, but they're just not. It hasn't quite gelled yet, which is understandable given it was only signed a matter of hours.
30 minutes into the partnership, but there's signs there, and you think if Sellers Fleming comes on as well, he can capitalise on those balls forward as well. But Tonks picks up the ball inside the gated half, puts it out to the far side where Cottrell Mollett plays the ball forward straight to a Gator player, and that is the poor one from Gator as Enaru goes back to mop up, plays it all the way back to Singh. Newblay's forcing the goalkeeper to take the kick quickly, and he has. Benayoun comes off Benayoun and out for a throw to the visitors. Well, as the second half has went on, not so many contentious decisions for the referee to make, but the first half hour, there was appeals from both sides for numerous things, but as I said, it was his last throw. This is his third since I said that. And Tonks, from more or less the same place as the last two, has an opportunity to put this ball right into the mixer again. In it comes. It's going to dip right on the edge of the 6-yard box, bounces through, and an overhead kick from McKinstry, and Gateshead have sent it away quickly. Rolls wants to support. Malcolm holds the ball up, just has to turn. There's a foul that he was. He's got a free kick, and it was George Morrison that just pushed him over. We're 2 and a bit minutes into the 3 minutes added on. Benayoun brings the ball forward out to Hannant on that right-hand side. Doesn't seem to be much in midfield to support the two going forward. As I say, that falls to Rules. Rules has Warman on this left-hand side. Goes through the centre to Newblay. Newblay out to Warman. Needs to pass it back in. He has. There's nobody there, but the ball can be picked up by... Oh, Benayoun just using his body to let that bounce over. Hannant puts the delivery in. It's not the greatest clearance. McKinstry clears it, and Tonks nods it away for Hannant to bring under control. Booty can give it back to Hannant. Gateshead, maybe one last roll of the dice in this half. To Newblay, manages to bring the ball down though to Jack Rolls. Jack Rolls lays it off to Booty. Booty puts a cross in and deflects towards the goalkeeper. But yeah, there is the half-time whistle. It ends 0-0 after 45 minutes here as we go into the break. And Mark, it took a little while for both teams to settle down. I'd say Tamworth settled probably a little bit quicker because they utilised their throw-ins, because we know that's a big tool of theirs. Took a little while for Gateshead to get into their passion style, but in the last 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of the half, we start to see Gateshead in and around the box.
Yeah, it got better as it went on for Gateshead. I mean, Tamworth are a constant threat throughout the game, plenty of energy, plenty of power, really direct. You know, that we'll keep going on about it, but that throw-in, you can see why they are where they are, why they're in the form that they're in.
Well, as Jovan Malcolm just got a yellow card for arguing with the referee. Obviously, a little bit aggrieved of the decisions that haven't went his way in the physical battles in the first half. But as I say, it is half time here, 0-0. And, well, I can see why Jovan Malcolm has been a little bit aggrieved, but a needless yellow. Well, the referee getting a warm welcome back in towards the Tyne Weir stand, and game far from, I wouldn't say far from over, but hasn't really burst into life just yet. But Tamworth, you've got to say, they'll be happy with the scoreline as it is, I think, at half time.
It's threatened to, hasn't it? It's threatened to burst into life, but hasn't quite yet. It was there was little bits where you think, something's coming here, something's going to happen. It's been scrappy on the whole. I think Gateshead have ended the half better, but Tamworth had the better of the first half of the half. And they're going to need a quick start second half, Gateshead. They need to come out and do what they did in those latter sort of 15 minutes to try and get a win. But there were signs of improvement from Tuesday, certainly signs of improvement from last Saturday.
Certainly, and when they come back out, they've got to not let the referees' decisions boil over into how they conduct themselves there. So Jovan Malcolm getting a yellow card after the half-time whistle. So when we come back, we're going to have a little rest here, time to take on some fluids and a toilet break. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes with the half-time scores of the National League. And please don't go anywhere, and we'll be back with the second half soon. Right. Well, you join us back here at half-time at Gateshead International Stadium. I'll go through the half-time scores in the National League. Of course, there was an early kick-off. Sutton United and Dagenham Redbridge ended level 1-all. Relegation fighting team AFC filed a 1-0 to the good over Forest Green at the moment. There's goals galore at Aldershot. It's Aldershot 2, Ebbsfleet United 3. They're putting up a fight. They're not going down easy, although they are still bottom of the league. Braintree 1, York City 1. And then it is Eastleigh 0, Southend 2, who are making a drive for the playoffs at the end of the season. It's 0-0 here, of course, between Gateshead and Tamworth. Hartlepool down here 19. They are winning 2-1 at home to Boston United. Rochdale are winning 1-0 away to Maidenhead. One of the playoff big games today with two teams involved. Oldham 1, FC Halifax 0. It is Solihull Moors 0, Yeovil 1, and 0-0 between Wealdstone and Woking. And of course, the late kickoff tonight is Barnet versus Aldershot, and that one promises to be a very good game between two good sides. And I'm going to say two of the better sides in the National League, if truth be told. So we are waiting for the teams to come back out. We'll let you know if there is going to be any changes to the lineups. I don't think so. Although Digi did take a knock in the first half, but he did seem to be able to continue after having his nose bloodied, we think, from our vantage point. But as I say, it is going to be an interesting week for Gateshead. There is takeover talk. There is more than takeover talk. There is, as I say, we had a Gateshead Soul meeting this week, and it was announced that it was imminent, a takeover from Victor Anichebe and a consortium. We don't know too much more other than that, so we don't want to speculate or surmise anything that we don't know. We only deal in the facts on the Heed Army podcast, and but it could be a very interesting week coming up. Once the news does break, either if it happens or not, we will have a Heed Army podcast that night. So please do follow our social media at Heed_Army on Twitter, Heed Army Podcast on Facebook, and on Insta, we are Heed Podcast at Heed Podcast. So please do get involved and send us your messages live on the Heed Army Podcast. But if you're tuning in now, drop a link, a like and subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel, and you'll get a notification. Hit the bell as well, so you get a notification when we go live, and it's all broadcast in full HD. The teams are coming back out onto the pitch. We do have the visitors onto the pitch already, and well, we're guessing it's an amalgamation of both strips, their home top and away bottoms. But Gateshead out onto the pitch, led by Regan Booty. They're going to go through their little warm-up here onto the left-hand side. Of course, Gateshead today having a debutant in the side, Frank Nublet, who arrived from Yeovil Town and was announced this morning wearing number 29 for Gateshead. And we'll be looking to start the second half how they finished it. A little bit on the front foot, but there's a lot of football to be played here. 45 minutes live and exclusive on the Heed Army podcast and National League TV with DAZN. And we thank you for your company wherever you are joining us from. And remember, if you are tuned in and you want to watch this and you are not in the United Kingdom, you can watch the game here live on National League TV for the price of $9.99. And that gives you a full week subscription where you can watch every game that happens in the next 7 days. Also, as I say, you can watch the games live, midweek kickoffs on a weekend, on any other day. Obviously, there's a blackout in England on a Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff, but on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you can watch. So please do join us. But the best place to see Gateshead or Tamworth is in their grounds, respectively. So get along and support your teams. But we're underway now as Tamworth shooting towards the River Tyne, launch the ball forward to Creaney. Benayoun heads the ball clear, but it's going to fall in midfield, nodded forward, but Tiernan Brooks quickly out to grab the ball as it bounces in the box. Goes long up towards Nublet. Nublet wouldn't push in the face as the referee and the linesman don't give anything. It's a physical encounter out there. Ball forward to Enaru. Enaru just tries to cut inside, but Booty's there to help. And at the moment, Gateshead playing the ball forward. There has been a slight change in formation for Gateshead, but Malcolm edge of the box, just runs away from him. We have seen Hannon go out to the left-hand side, and now Warman is right wing back in the second half as Tonks brings the ball forward. He's got a man on the right-hand side in Creaney. Creaney just wanting some support, has to cut in with it. Gateshead do win the ball back though, and they can try and mop up through Hannon to lays it back to Brooks. But yes, it's must have been something picked up on by the Gateshead management. They've just rejigged a little bit, and Warman on the right-hand side here lays it off to Nublé. Nublé just gets it under control and passes it back to Belayoun. Belayoun to Rules, and good communication from Rules to point out the free man as Belayoun gives it to Booty. Warman, no, it hasn't. Booty's still got the ball. Rules.
Just go back. Start again.
We're just starting to see a little bit of Gateshead of old, the passing around. Let's see it. Lovely. Oh, my word. Well, Nublé wins the header and judged to have been a foul. Yeah, that's without sounding too biased, that was exactly what we seen in the first half. That wasn't given for Gateshead, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's got up above the defender there. But I mean, both teams are appealing heavily in. I don't know. It's just a strange refereeing performance.
Free kick from the goalkeeper up towards the edge of the box. The big men are up there, nodded down by Gateshead. Humbles manages to flick it away, and Javon Malcolm.
So that was a foul.
That was a foul, yeah. He did look like he found Humbles doing very well. Turns his man. Oh, great stuff from Humbles. Tries to lay it off, and good defending.
Star of the show. Star of the show, Humbles. He had a great game in midfield.
Sticking to him like glue at the moment, isn't it, when he turns? Atmosphere just starting to ramp up a little bit here as the ball goes across to Hannant. Nublé with the run on the far side, appeals for offside, not given. As the far side puts it across and wins a corner. Better from Gateshead, but it's starting to see them find a little bit of space.
Yeah, a bit of momentum building here, isn't there? They made a really positive start. And let's see if they can do something from a set piece like they done on Tuesday night, of course.
Regan Booty puts it in short to near post and cleared, but falls to Humbles, who goes for a rocket launch of a shot.
I think it might be Hannant.
Was it Hannant? Was it? Yeah, it was Hannant. Apologies, but just couldn't get his boot round it, and it always rising. Well, Singh. Long kick up as Gateshead managed to get the ball away through Booty. G heads it away. Headed forward by Warman, brought down by Noble, tried to get it to Malcolm and went all the way back to Singh. Crompton on the far side can bring it forward. Rules goes over to try and slow it down past inside. Sundry can bring the ball forward now. We're just starting to see both teams start to play a little bit more on the ground at the moment. As Booty brings it forward. Humbles. Well, was he fouled? He was. And it's a free kick to Gateshead. Humbles just has to sort his boot out there. He's back up. Booty looks for the run of Nublé. It's going to be chested back.
Don't matter.
It's really comfortable, wasn't he? Yeah, Hollis.
Great kick.
And Gateshead don't manage to pick up the loose ball as Creaney brings it forward. Edge of the box. Can he get space to pull the shot? He can. Great defensive covering play from Booty. Puts his body in the line. And now Benayoun can play this ball forward. As there's a pulled shirt pull. And my words, the shirt was being pulled down. And he's going to give that free kick. Well. There's only so much you can really say there, but it's a free kick to the visitors. As Regan Booty talks to Ross Joyce, it's a dangerous position for Tamworth to put the ball in the box. And, well, Newblay's shirt is absolutely being stretched to its limits there, Mark. Tonks, left-hand side of the pitch, 25 yards out towards the touchline. Can put a delivery in. All the big men are up there for the visitors.
Refereed in League One this season as well.
Yeah. In comes the delivery from Tonks, headed up in the air, and it goes over the bar. It's a goal kick to Gateshead. As Hollis was coming in towards the back post, but Gateshead can take this goal kick short now. As Tiernan Brooks just peels off to his other side of the 6-yard box. Tiernan Brooks gets the ball, pumps the ball up towards Javon Malcolm. Did you get in front of it? And Aru managed to get the ball back. But Javon Malcolm wins the ball. Didn't go down, and now the visitors bring the ball forward. It's going to go to the far side. Can the cross come in? It can. Oh, it's been got away by Gateshead. Looked like it was going to fall to a Tamworth shirt, but Humbles can bring the ball forward now. Just has to turn. Gets it to Newblay. Newblay holds the ball up. Shirt's being pulled again, and the referee eventually gives. Oh no, he's too little to play on.
He
has done the right thing. He has played the advantage, but yet again we're seeing the shirts being pulled as now Gateshead on the far side. Newblay has it left hand side. Sees the run of Horton. Horton gets past his man. Can he put it back to Malcolm?
Oh, what a block!
Gets a shot
what
off
a block that is!
As I say, it hasn't been fully cleared yet, but it falls to Newblay, far side of the box corner. Cleared, but only as far as Gateshead. Rolls, puts the ball in, and there's shirt pulling from Malcolm in the box there. Warman gives it to Humbles. Humbles gives it to Warman. Peels for a free kick, and it has been given, and there's a yellow card coming out now for George Morrison. I think both sides was like a bit more consistency from the referee, it must be said. But Gateshead have a good opportunity to get the ball in the box. Booty stands over it.
Bubbling under, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 40 yards out, right-hand side, closer to the dugout. But Booty stands over it, left-footed. Can get the delivery in. Can he pick out the Gateshead head? In comes the delivery now. It's a nice one right in the dangerous area. Newblay got the header onto it and puts it well wide, but it was a good, lovely delivery.
It really was. It's a great ball into the area from Regan Booty, and just couldn't direct it goalwards, really.
55 minutes gone, 0-0 here at Gateshead International Stadium. Fourth official in deep conversation with the Tamworth bench. Singh. Booty tries to win the aerial battle but couldn't get to it, and Belayoun, the ball was going to bounce out for a Gateshead throw. Warman plays it back to Belayoun. Brooks under pressure but clears the ball up the pitch. Headed clear by Hollis, and Benayoun under pressure from Unaru. Lovely stuff from Benayoun, but he's just been done, and
went down far too easy.
He did go down very easy, but there was a collective gasp in the Tyne Weir stand. The ball's being played forward.
And if you notice, the one person who's not complaining,
is the player himself. Yeah,
knows what's happened there. Knows exactly what he's done.
Tell you what, though, good work rate from Enaru.
Unbelievable, great tenacity, and he's done everything that his manager would want, apart from the end bit.
I had foreseen the ball going out of play, but he had other plans.
It's also a little bit sloppy from John Bellahoon.
Yeah, he shouldn't
Got
have been
to be
out
stronger.
muscled there when he was on the line. Cottrell Mollett nods it forward. Booty heads it clear only as far as the Tamworth head. It falls though to Warman, who can hook that one clear. Javon Malcolm battling, but Crompton comes away and Crompton finds space as he brings the ball forward. Goes for a cheeky shot himself. And, well, if he had got a better connection, he might have made the goalkeeper work. But
there's a little bit going on between Regan Booty and Jack Rolls here. They just had a right go at each other.
Well, we'll see how that develops. But at the moment, goal kick to Gateshead. Booty. Sorry, Brooks. It's a hell of a kick, but it's going to be won in the aerial battle by the visitors. And now a ball over the top looking for a run, but there was nobody there on this left-hand side of the pitch. And Bramwell wins a throw-in as he plays it off Enaru. And Enaru just limping a little bit there after that run.
They need to get him the ball more because he's the one I think that can make something happen in the final third. Not really sure what I'd change here if I was Gateshead.
Yeah, it's finely poised, isn't it? Maybe freshen the forward line with Sellers Fleming for maybe Malcolm. Don't know. Who'd be a manager? A lovely touch from Malcolm, though. If he looks up, Hannant's on the far side. Nubley still brings the ball forward. Now sends Hannant away. Hannant, left-hand side of the box, pulls it across into the side net, and then it's a corner. Good run from Nubley to bring Hannant into play. And we have a corner on the far side. 58 minutes gone, 0-0. In comes the delivery. It's been bounces in the box, goes through, and it's going to go out for a Gateshead throw.
First time we've seen Newell kind of get the ball and run at the defence, isn't it? Not what he's particularly known for, what he's favoured for, but a really, really promising run.
As Warman's going to be the man to take it. Nubley holds the ball up. He's got two players on him. Ball hasn't been cleared yet by the visitors. Has over the shoulder. Booty nods it forward. Cleared again. And Deceiving bounce in midfield. But Gateshead do manage to get it under control as Hannant comes back to help out and rolls now on the ball. Hannant rolls on the halfway line, left-hand side of the pitch. Just looks to get this ball moving. And he was expecting a run of Nubley there. And the ball goes out for a corner. And Hollis,
again, there's no complaint.
No, I think Hollis is
quick one off the one. Quick one off the one.
Yeah, they've took it quickly as Booty puts a cross into the box too close to the goalkeeper.
Right.
Yeah, a little lack of communication from the Tamworth defence there before. Hollis was saying he needed a shout there, and yeah.
You could maybe see Sellers Fleming on at some point, maybe for Newell.
Quite possibly all for
Malcolm.
Yeah, I think that really it's the only place you could change things up at the moment. And the rest of it's not too bad as the ball headed back as Bellayoun battling. It's good work from Bellayoun there. Kept his hands next to his side defending as Enaru on this left-hand side. Got support from Mollett. Mollett puts the ball in. It's a decent cross and back across goal and into the back of the net. And the ball, well, looped over Tiernan Brooks. He was scrambling to get to it. And Kearney gets the opening goal of the afternoon on 60 minutes. As the Tamworth fans come to life. But the cross in was very deep and very similar to last Saturday. Gateshead didn't cope with the ball going back across goal and ultimately nestles in the side netting of the back of the net.
It's a great header. Brilliant header. Looped back across goal. It's the only way you can score, I think.
Carbon copy of last week. Well, Jack Rolls is going to come off here for Tyrell Newton.
The one thing I'd say is that I just think the cross came in too easily. It's really easy how they worked it in from the left, and the header. There's not a lot of power on it or pace. He's just looked at it, he's directed it. It's a great header.
It was more or less a carbon copy, apart from it being a free kick last week. Gateshead didn't deal with the ball across, but sometimes some balls are just you can't cope with when they're headed right. Well, Gateshead need a reply, or they'll be on the end of their 5th consecutive defeat in a row. Humbles. Hannant looks for the run of Malcolm. Malcolm held off by Hollis. Hollis just marshalling the ball over to the far side at the moment. Clears his ball up towards, it's nodded on by Tonks, but gets an intercept. They can try and build through Booty. Booty looks for a run in the centre as Tyrell Newton is there.
Nearly. Good run from Tyrell Newton.
Well, we've got just under half an hour of normal time remaining here for Gateshead to try and get something out of it. But I say I genuinely thought if Tamworth were going to make the goalkeeper work, it was going to come from a set piece, but they've managed to do it in open play. As Gateshead now clear the ball through Hannant. DG heads the ball forward. Borman brings the ball down. Cleared by Brooks up towards Newbley, and there's a push.
It's not foul.
Well, Newbley claims his innocence, but the free kick has been given.
You don't need to talk to him.
Well, Newbley having a conversation with the referee, or should I say the other way around. Ball launched up by Singh, edge the area, chested down by Hollis. Gateshead managed to bring it away, but don't find an outlet. The ball comes back from Tamworth. Cheney comes through, his touch nearly got him the sight on goal, but it bounced away, and Brooks clears the ball quickly towards Malcolm. Crompton, no nonsense, heads it out.
I like that. There's been a few times Gateshead tried to play that quick ball and get it forward from Tane and Brooks, and it's really worked quite well.
Ball launched towards Brooks. Malcolm. Ball comes in from Warman. Kick clear. And Kearney wins the header. Tries to marshal the ball and holds it up. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. The ball falls to Belayun. Warman, right hand side, can bring the ball forward. Drives forward with it. He's on this. Cuts in. Newton. Down to dead ball line. Gets across, wins a corner. Wow.
Looks as if Newton's sort of playing just off the front man, doesn't it? And they've just dropped Liam Humbles in a little bit deeper alongside Regan Booty.
Certainly seems that way, but Booty has an opportunity to put the ball in again. It's deep, and Singh can pluck that one out the air with ease. Didn't have enough zip on it, that one. And Singh can take his time and let his team get higher up the pitch into position. Headed clear by Bramwell, but picked up in midfield aerial battle by the visitors. Falls to Humbles. Humbles, lovely footwork to allow himself space to get rid of the ball to Newton. Newton out to Warman.
Not the first time he's shown that neat footwork. Humbles been excellent.
Certainly has. As Newbley gets the ball to Malcolm. Malcolm, if he looks.
Oh,
lovely footwork, and bring Hannant into players. Newbley is in the centre waiting for the cross. In it comes. There's Newbley. Just couldn't get underneath it to or on top of it, should I say, to head that goalwards, and over it went. But those are the promising signs you want to see from Gateshead, but they really do have to make the goalkeeper work in those situations.
Yeah, Singh's not really made a save yet, has he? Throwing that one early on from Javon Malcolm when he came off his line to claim it.
Well, we wait for Singh to take this goal kick. Yeovil are 3-0 to the good away to Solihull Moors. Filed on now 2-0 up against Forest Green as Tonks gets the ball and puts it out to the far side. Tamworth loading the boxes. Gateshead do push their defensive line out, but in comes the delivery. It hits a Gateshead man, but falls in the box. And Gateshead have to be careful. Great recovering tackle.
I think he's had a good game today, but not Bramwell.
He has. Bramwell's done very well. But they have to defend yet another aerial bombardment from the visitors. As Sellers Fleming goes to warm up down the touchline for Gateshead.
It's a grim day, isn't it? Look at it. Grey now pouring down.
It is. Tonks taking his time. His deliveries are as good as his feet as they are of his hands as it in comes, and it's going to dip right in the 6-yard box. Kearney heads it across off the line by Newbley on the far side, and it's a lovely looping header from Kearney. Tonks gets yet another go at putting the ball into the area. 66 minutes gone. Gateshead 1 goal down. In comes the delivery. This one towards the back post. It bounces through. Kearney puts it back across. Headed clear. Gateshead really do need to clear their lines, and now they can. As Belayoun launched, it's Newbley that launched that one clear. Newbley back on defensive duties. There he is to win the header and head it forward. As Malcolm tries to chase onto it. The bounce didn't deceive the defence. And Tonks can play across to the far side. Crompton brings it forward. Tonks receives it again in midfield. Looks for movement. Kearney is shouting for it to go to the far side. He's trying to play it all the way back to DG. Hollis. Hollis under pressure. There's now on the far side, Crompton can bring the ball forward. He's got time and space to bring it forward. Still driving with the ball. Going to lay it off. And now Tonks driving the ball to the area. Had to be a good tackle. Kearney gets a shot away and it goes out for a goal kick. But Gateshead inviting people to run onto them in and around the area, Mark.
Yeah, they were a bit there, weren't they? Just allowing Tamworth to go at them. And nothing really been a reaction yet from Gateshead.
Not really. And Enaru lunges onto a ball. He's ghosted through. Tonks is in the centre. Enaru, there's a man coming at the far post, tries to be cheeky and goes for a shot the near post and hit the side net. But tell you what, Gateshead let off the hook again. Goal kick to Gateshead. 69 minutes gone. Gateshead 0, Tamworth 1. Dan Creaney with the goal. A looping header from the back post. Across goal. So the wind just picks up a little bit again here at the stadium. Ball bounces through. Malcolm tries to turn his man. He's pulled down. Referee says nothing given, to the dismay of the Tyne and Weir stand. But now Sundry plays the ball through the centre, and referee says nothing given there. Just feel like with some of these fouls that's being let go by both sides, but Newton can bring the ball forward. He's got Malcolm. Gets good tackle. Should have let the ball go faster, Tyrell Newton there. And he had men on the right and the left. As Bramwell, ball ricochets back, but Gateshead can now get Humbles onto the ball. Booty just inside the Gateshead half. Ball out to the far side. Hannon peels out to the left-hand touchline. Horton. Have to play it all the way back.
That's all right. Just keep the ball.
To Bramwell. Now to Brooks. Brooks gives it to Humbles, who's dropped deep. Can bring the ball forward. Belayoun. Warman. Just cuts into it, lays it off to Belayoun. Belayoun to Nublet, who was under pressure, where it falls back to Belayun, and poor communication, but luckily goes back to Tiernan and Brooks. And at the moment, Gateshead look a little
Good
adept.
ball. Oh, it's not.
They just look a little bit
All over the
in
place.
a loss for ideas at the moment.
Yeah, still got 20 minutes left, and Tamworth are still a threat, but Gateshead just need to do something. I think I'd be looking at. I think I'd be looking at the bench.
Well, Belayun let the ball bounce
Offside.
there. There was a foul. Our offside flag goes up. A lot of shirt pulling in this game. I know there's a lot of referees will stop for that, and I don't know if it's to be commended or condemned. The referee not really upholding it in this game, but that's not to say Gateshead haven't been guilty either, by the way. But there has been shirt pulling in this game.
Well, there's been a lot of it, hasn't there?
As Gateshead play the ball to Brooks just outside his area, gives the ball now to Horton out to the far side. Hannant looks to get his head down and drive with the ball.
No options whatsoever.
No options, and the ball forward. Oh, of course, manages. Oh,
Yeah, you go to
I did. Hannant got a touch on it, went out of play. I just thought it had been played straight out there. But yeah, as the rain starts to come into the Tyne stand, some people migrate back to get out of it. Very rare the wind actually blows in this direction.
Some of us can't.
Yeah. Well, Tonks chasing down. Good defensive, though, from Bramwell. Brooks gets it to Warman. Hope he's had a shout. He's got a man on his back. Belayun. Calm.
Good.
Calm from Belayun. You would just, well, as on the shirt and a pull round as Nublet just looks around towards the linesman as if to say, what's going on? Lovely cross-field ball, intercepted though by Crompton. Looked like it was just going to fall on Malcolm. Intercepts a poor pass. It's going to fall, and he just gets tackled, and the ball runs away, but cleared by Tamworth and Gateshead. You would say just have to up the tempo a little bit more now.
Yeah, definitely, and maybe just go for it. There's a sub coming on here for Tamworth, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. It looks like Tonks is going to come off. Going to be replaced by number 14, Kai Williams. Well,
Two subs.
Two substitutions. There's two players stripped and ready to go. Can't see who the other one is at the moment, but at the moment it's still in play as Nublet nods the ball on, looking for Malcolm to get onto it. He does get a touch to it, but it cleared by the visitors. Booty brings the ball down to Warman. Warman did well with two players on him. Booty manages to get the ball across to Horton. And just seeing the passing linking up for Gateshead at the moment under the pressure, but they need to get it further forward. As a foul from Tonks, and I think that will be Tonks' last play of the game. Is it? Nope, they're not going to do the subs until after this free kick. Ball through for Newton. It's a good run. Can he get this? Oh, just bounced up away from him, but what a run. Good vision from Booty.
His first touch is better there. There, see, he scores.
Yeah.
But he is literally an on goal.
Well, if he's not going to see his run was poorly timed, but if he had arced his body, he might be able to touch it first time into the back of the net. But Kearney brings the ball down. Newton gets the ball to Warman. Warman tried to thread it back forward for the run of Newton, but now Tonks on this left-hand side of the box plays it inside to Honoru, and his touch lets him down, and Booty can't bring it away. Humbles needs to turn and run onto this ball. He has done. It's a drive and run. Liam Humbles, can he set it away? And good tackle there from Sundry and Gateshead. That's what they need more of. Somebody trying to create as the ball.
I think it's been probably Gateshead's man of the match, Liam Humbles. He's had a great game.
Yeah, it'd be hard to argue with that, Mark. There's Humbles on the ball now. Finds Nublet. Malcolm. Oh, Hollis just did well to get his body in.
Did very well, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the proper lesson in how to arc your body to help with the defending. So it looks like we are going to see the subs now. Kai Williams is going to be coming on, and Tonks is going to be replaced by Bell Milnes. Believe so. So Tonks is off, and number 22, Enaru, is coming off for Kai Williams. Mark, two influential players leaving the pitch here for Tamworth. They've both been involved heavily in everything going forward for the visitors.
Yeah, they've both had really good games, haven't they? And Tonks is that driving force in midfield that he always has been right the way throughout his career with a number of clubs. Done pretty.
Ball back to Tina Brooks, who just has to. Did you see the bobble there, Mark? Gateshead play the ball to Bella Ewan, who has space to bring it forward. Needs an option, and he gets it through Warman. Warman looks to get that ball up to Javon Malcolm, who's being held. And, well, I'm going to say this. Yes, there was an arm round him, but you've got to play it to the whistle, Javon Malcolm. He was more looking at the referee than the ball.
But, yeah, he does, but at the same time, he is being fouled.
He is, but the ball comes up to Newblade, who nods the ball on, but it's going to bounce out of play for a goal kick.
Slight break in play, so I'll let you know that the 50-50 prize has been claimed. 0.40.
Wow. Time ticks down. Only 13 minutes remain of normal time here. Good kick, but the ball's been hit onto the far side, and Tamworth, all good defending from Horton.
Yeah, it's good.
Seen that out. Looked like he was going to be beaten to the ball.
Tyrell Sellers, Fleming coming on, maybe Newell.
Or could it be a midfield player? You never know. Oh, the poor pass at the back there. Sees Tamworth on the attack. In comes the shot, and a great save, but it goes in the back of the net. And once again, Gateshead opened up with ease through the middle. Tiernan Brooks couldn't do much about it. And I believe, trying to see who the goal scorer was. I think it might have been George Morrison that scored there. I'll confirm that in a second. Or was it Creaney with his second?
I think it might be Creaney again.
Yeah, it might be Creaney with his second. But Gateshead 2-0 down here. 79 minutes gone. And sadly, people make their way for the exit here at Gateshead International Stadium. Some people have seen enough. Well, Sellers Fleming stripped and ready to go. Ben Warman comes off, Gateshead with three strikers on. It's going to be a slight rejig in formation. As Hannon comes back across, Horton goes across to the far side. Dare I say it went to a 4-3-3, quite possibly. So Hannon back on the right-hand side, Horton out to the left-hand side. Unless Booty's the one that's dropped into defence, but the ball is going to bounce all the way through, and Singh takes a touch.
The substitutions for Gateshead there before the goal scorer at the time. Substitution for Gateshead loading the pitch, number 11, Ben Warman.
The visitors have got Danny Waldron already stripped and ready for action as Singh pings the ball up. The ball is going to bounce right through. Bramwell doesn't manage to keep it out, and it is a corner to the visitors. And dare I say, one or two heads seem to have dropped here, but they need to G themselves up. There's still 10 minutes left here. While there's time, there's hope. But all you can hear is the Tamworth fans on the far side. For any Tamworth fans listening in, I did meet up with a couple and took a photo of them. It's on the screen on our YouTube thing. Having a great day out at the moment as the ball comes in. Tiernan Brooks plucks that one out the air.
Goal scorer for second goal for Tamworth was number 29, Tom McGlinchey.
Was Tom McGlinchey, number 19 as it was, the team sheet's wrong. But Gateshead can bring the ball forward now. There's Newblay, turns, holds it up. Belayun got the ball to Sellers Fleming. Sellers Fleming pulls it back to Belayun. He's got it. Can he pull across? Wins the corner. Gateshead can try and carve something out from a set piece. Well, someone's saying, is this going to be 5 defeats in a row or just 4? It'll be 5. Regan Booty delivers the ball in. There's the header, and it's a goal!
Save.
Magnificent save. Dare I say, one of the best saves I've seen at Gateshead International Stadium this season. Fantastic reactions down to his right, and Singh stopping what looked certainly a goal.
Yeah, great save. It's why he's rated as one of the best keepers in the league, I think. Had an unbelievable record last season when Tamworth won the National League North, and it saves like that is to why. Just a brilliant keeper.
Gateshead head the ball away and out of play for a throw on the far side. Here comes Creaney off, and it's going to be replaced by Danny Waldron. Well, Creaney.
Substitution for Tamworth. Making the pitch, number 9.
Just give you an update of some scores around the league. Fylde are winning 3-0 at home to Forest Green. It's 3-3 between Aldershot and Ebbsfleet United. Braintree winning 2-1 at home against York. Eastleigh have pulled one back. It's 2-1 at home to Southend. And Tamworth 2-0 to the good here as the throw comes into the box. Humbles does get a touch to it, but they can't get near the ball at the moment on the far side. And the ball run out of play for a goal kick.
That's a foul. He just pushed him.
Hartlepool winning 3-1 at home to Boston. It's 1-1 between Maidenhead and Rochdale. 1-0 to Oldham against FC Halifax. And it's 3-0 Yeovil away to Solihull Moors and 0-0 Wealdstone Woking. Gets it intercept in midfield. Tyrell Newton looks to keep this ball moving forward. Comes out to Belayun on the halfway line. Right hand side, Hannant. There's runners in the centre. He has been able to send it forward for Newton. Newton's past his man. Can he cross it in? He can. It's going to be
didn't need to cross it straight away, you know.
And now Cochrane Mollett can send the ball away as Walden chases it down. Booty playing that centre back role can get it back to Brooks, and Brooks clears it. There's another shirt pull there. There's a short pull, that one. We've seen all of the fire of Sellers Fleming. Belayun. Ball back to Booty. Bramwell. Newblay drops deep, gets it to Humbles. Humbles now to Tyrell Newton. Newton has Hannant on this right-hand side who he uses. Newblay gives the ball out to Hannant on this right-hand side. They need to load the box. There is targets in there. Hannant puts the delivery in towards Malcolm. Malcolm gets up in the air. It's going to fall though, and the shot off the line from Hollis. And Gateshead knocking on the door. Tyrell Newton goes for a shot from distance. Blocked. Put out to Hannant on the right-hand side of the box. Crosses one in. It's a dangerous one. Back post. Headed clear. And now Tamworth can bring the ball forward on the far side. Well, Tamworth not getting forward as quickly as they were earlier in the game, but they have a 2-0 lead to hold on to at the moment. Well, Hollis keeping the score line at 2-0 there.
It's great. I think it's Horton, wasn't it, with the strike?
Yeah, Horton with the strike.
Yeah, he's done everything right, got it on target, and I think Gateshead, you look, that header from Humbles, the shot from Horton there, cleared off the line. That they've had their chances. It's not as if they haven't created.
They will do, but the cross comes in. Oh, cleared by Hannant. Javon Malcolm, the ball's bounced, but he's done well against Crompton. Lays the ball back, and now Bramwell picks out Newton. Belayun. And Belayun under pressure, just gets himself some space. Hannant puts it inside to Newton. Although Gateshead have made the goalkeeper work in the past 5 minutes, I think Gateshead fans will ask the question, why did it take till 2-0 down?
Yeah, I think you're right.
To happen?
I think you're right, yeah. Just haven't really tested them enough, have they?
Well, ball nodded into Walden.
It's lovely.
Great link-up play, and the ball's going to come back across. And
He's missed a blatant pullback there, by the way. That's really poor. That's really poor. And that's on a Gateshead player who committed the foul, by the way.
The referee hasn't covered himself in glory.
No, he hasn't, far from it. And if he's a guy who's refereed in League 1, League 2.
Well, maybe that's why he's down here in the National League. He might have had some bad performances there. But at the moment, Sellers Fleming leaves it off to Newton. Newton brings Bramwell into play. Gateshead trying to get players on the edge of the area. They have done, as Siobhan Malcolm tries to create from the left-hand side. Lays it to Newton. I think it took a touch off a Tamworth player, but Newton gives it to Booty. Gateshead camped out inside the Tamworth area. Malcolm, poor ball, cleared out by Tamworth, throw on the far side. And, well, if Gateshead really do want to make a serious push for the National League playoffs, things have to change, Mark.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know, next game's not exactly an easy one, is it? Going to Barnet, so it's going to be tough. But I think, you know, when you look at what Magny and Brigcoat have had to put up with since they've come in, the amount of injuries they've had is ludicrous, and the amount of players that they've had to use. And it's not necessarily just the fact that they've got players injured; it's the manner of the players that are injured. They are key players.
Bell Milnes was wanting the game stopped so he could put his boot on. The referees giving a yellow card for dissent for telling him to get it sorted. But Gateshead now can bring the ball forward. Ballyun Hannant is on acres of space, this right-hand side. Does come out to him now. Can he get the cross in? That's a free corner. Appeals for handballs from Humbles, but
nah.
I don't think there's much you could do about the pace the ball came at him. Regan Booty comes over to take this corner. 88 minutes gone. Gateshead 0, Tamworth 2. The delivery comes in. It's going to be headed clear back out for another corner. Now, Booty lines up again. In comes the delivery. Oh, it's going towards Malcolm, headed clear. Hannant, the furthest man back, who can try and help Gateshead build again as Tyrell Newton, under pressure, gives it to Humbles. Humbles to Booty. Booty inside to Newton. Newton brings the ball forward and the push from Walden. Referee says no. And Cockerell Mollett can bring the ball forward. There's a runner through the centre, goes down the channel. Great recovery from Hannant. Gets the ball back from Regan Booty. Booty goes for a long ball up, looking for the big men, headed away by DG, who hasn't lost a header this afternoon, I don't think.
No, he hasn't. He's been great at the back, hasn't he?
He's put his face on the line for it as well in the first half. As the ball bounces through, Crompton can easily deal with that. It falls, a foul from Newton. It was clumsy. And into the...
Said it on Tuesday, but I think there's some going through the motions now since the second goal.
Yeah. Well, a yellow card for Tyrell Newton there. It's a cynical body check.
It's a foul, but it's not yellow.
Well, we are going to see Ponticelli come on.
Look, I think Tamworth have been really good this afternoon. I think they've done a great job.
George Morrison is making way.
You look at the energy they played with. You know, yes, they're direct, but they do it so well. You can see why they're on the run they're on, and I think they're a great outside bet. Well, not even an outside bet now for the playoffs. You think the momentum they built up last season. Obviously, they've had the cup run, getting the third round, and the Tottenham game and such like. It's a great story and a brilliant season, first season back in the National League. So for Gateshead, it's obviously disappointing, massively disappointing. They need players in, they need quality players in, and it needs freshened up quickly.
Ponticelli comes on for George Morrison. Well, it's a free kick, bang centre in the pitch. There's 4 minutes to be added on here at Gateshead International Stadium. And there's another substitution ready to come on for the visitors.
minutes additional time.
Arjan Raki is stripped and ready to go, but the ball is in play. Tamworth have it on the far side, near the corner flag. They're holding it up. Earned the right to do so. Try and see this game out. Ball hasn't went out to play yet. Gateshead managed to clear it. Bounces and hasn't went out to play yet. But it has now. There we go. And it's went to a throw to the visitors.
Attendance today. Thank you, each and every one of you. Total attendance 1,184. That includes 112 away supporters.
Well, 112 away supporters. Tamworth, they've enjoyed their afternoon. They've been loud and proud. I had the pleasure of meeting a few at the Angel of the North this morning. And for our audio listeners, I do have a picture up on our screen. That was the player there, the fans I met this morning. But Raki is ready to come on. And we're waiting for the Tamworth player to come off. Sondri is about to leave the pitch. Well, over recent weeks, Gateshead fans have had to dissect what has been happening. And today, you've got to say, this Tamworth side have come here. They've worked hard. But questions have got to be asked why Gateshead aren't making the opposition goalkeepers work enough.
Leading the pitch, number 28, Munashi Sundari, being replaced by number 37, Arjan Raki.
Bramwell clears the ball up the pitch towards Newblay. Newblay lets the ball bounce through. Sellers Fleming manages to get it to Malcolm.
Still not going to give him a foul.
He hasn't. I think he's given one foul against Jovan Malcolm.
Your man of the match for Gateshead this afternoon is number 15, Liam Humbles.
Well, Liam Humbles is the man of the match here this afternoon at Gateshead International Stadium for Gateshead. We've got just under 2 minutes remaining of time added on. Gateshead trail by 2 goals. Newton brings the ball down, loses it though, and Tamworth on the attack. They'll be looking to add a third here if they can. The ball's going to come through. It hasn't come through to Kai Williams. So now it does. Kai Williams in the box, pulls the trigger. It just skews up off his foot and wide.
Pitched a Gateshead a favour there, didn't it?
Wow.
That bottled up as he was hitting it.
Well, Gateshead just looking for the full-time whistle now, it must be said. Ball played forward, looking for Newblay. Ball bounces. Sellers Fleming can't get it to Malcolm. Horton, didn't lay it off to Horton. Malcolm still got it now. Newton back to Jovan Malcolm. Humbles. Having to twist and turn. At the moment, we've got 30 seconds of the time added on. The ball's going to go all the way through, and Singh just has to let that come to his feet. And just looks like a lack of ideas at the moment, a lack of belief in the Gateshead side. As the ball cleared by Singh. Malcolm nods the ball up in the air. Newton beaten to the ball. Belayun gets it forward, and now it's poked over the top, looking for the run of Sellers Fleming, but Hollis does well to marshal it back to his goalkeeper, and a foul's being given for a shirt pull mark. We've never seen any of them tonight, this afternoon. Well, I think this will be the last kick of the game. The Singh takes his time to take the ball to the edge of his area. Referee signals for the kick to be taken. Ball hit forward, goes out of play for a Tamworth throw. Of course, the 4 minutes added on is a minimum, of course. Crompton with a throw. They hold up on the far side as Tamworth cross the ball in. Booty gets in front of Kai Williams and clears it. Sellers Fleming nods it on for Tyrell Newton to bring the ball down. Tries to play it inside and the ball goes out of play. And there is the full-time whistle. Gateshead lose their 5th game in a row as they struggle to find the back of the net. But Tamworth, they were aerial threat right throughout. And then the second half, Creaney, the cross-field ball, cross-pitch ball towards the back post. Seeing a beautiful lofting header into the back of the net. Kieran Brooks couldn't do anything about it. And then they were caught with a break for the second goal. And Mark, you've got to say it's just one of those games that Gateshead didn't get a hold of.
Never really felt in control, but at the same time, I think Tamworth did at times until the last sort of 20 minutes maybe. Just seemed like a nothing game for large parts. Whoever got the first goal was always going to be crucial, and Tamworth, I think, deserve the point. Gateshead at least had a goal, but you can tell confidence is low. They've got a big week ahead of them on and off the pitch, and we'll see where we're at this time next week.
We certainly will. Thank you very much for joining us, whether it's on the National League TV stream, on DAZN, and of course here on the Heed Army podcast. Keep an eye out for a broadcast if the proposed takeover happens in the next 48 hours. We will go live with that. And but let's stay positive. Let's stay with the boys as it stands. I'll have a quick look at the National League table. Gateshead still in 6th place, and they have a cushion of 4 points in there to keep them in the National League playoffs. But that'll be no consolation. Carl Magny and Liam Bridcut will have lots to work on the next week. So keep your eyes peeled, and thank you for your company.